thunder, but there's one or two people that would normally have came along to the Glasgow Green over here, to the big plinth, to Nelson's column, who were going to speak. And one of the speakers today was going to be Lilia Sinclair. So we've came by default to here. So in a couple of minutes, Lilia, who runs Heal Scotland, and she's been against the lockdown, Lilia's going to speak. Is that okay with you guys? It's up to you. And there's been quite a few of us have spoke at Glasgow Green now for over a year, and it was always an open mic. So if you want to come up and say anything, whether it's about the jabs, whether it's about lockdown, anything at all, come and say it. Doesn't matter whether there's discussion, argument and debate. That's what is required in any form of science, rigorous debate. So come and put your viewpoint. Just simply take the mic, say who you are and say your piece. So I'm going to hand over to Lilia from Heal Scotland. If you don't know other stuff on the web, I'm looking forward to learning as well. So I think we can all learn from Lilia.
Thank you, Paddy. Thanks for everything that you do, and thank you guys for being here. My name is Lilia Let It Go Sinclair. I teach people to let go, and I'm the co-creator of this book, Scotland's Wild Medicine. And it's wild for two main reasons. It's wild that we don't have this information freely available, and it's wild because everything in here is free. Now, about 30 odd years ago, my best friend's daughter was diagnosed with leukemia, and that changed my life. For 12 years I watched the system, and I thought there has to be a better way to do this. And I think, you know, my journey over the last 3 decades into why do we get sick? Why would a child get sick? And how can we get better without creating more disease? That has been a burning obsession of mine for all this time. Ask any of my friends, I'm absolutely obsessed. So when this happened, you can imagine suddenly Big Pharma, who I'm already totally up against, saying, no, this is not the way ahead. More drugs and more vaccinations do not make us healthier. Does anybody truly believe that? No, exactly, it has to stop. And I see that sign. I've got grandchildren. You know, we have one of the worst health pictures in the world. I have to bring this up, guys, because we have to really look at ourselves. We have a really poor, one of the poorest health trajectories in the Western world, but we can change that. We, the people. And that's what the Heal Scotland movement is about. It is to create a groundswell of people that understand everything that we need is already here. We've been fooled into thinking, do you know that even chemotherapy comes from a pine tree? The trees, do you know that if you sit in a forest for 3 days, do you know what happens to your natural killer cells? They increase by 56%. This is science, people, not bot science.
Trust the science.
I don't even like to say that anymore. So, you know, and I had this guy out the army phone me, and he said, asking about Heal Scotland, and he said, have you got science to back up everything that you say? And I'll tell you this, see, when I was researching for this book, what really stunned me is this science has been around. People have known about this forever. Not even 1 year, not even 10, centuries and sometimes thousands of years. And remember, they burned the witches, but we're back. Bringing the wild medicine to you because our children are killing themselves. They don't want to be here. Nobody's connecting it. We're poisoning them with vaccinations, with medications, with food, with pesticides. The list goes on. I don't want to go on about it and depress you all because I'm here to tell you we can change it. Part of Heal Scotland is there's a section called Mums Across Scotland. Still, 80% of the food that is bought by mums, by women. That is changing, but we need to make choices because there is a huge level of responsibility here. And the good thing that's come out of this madness is that we're all now in a place that we recognise things have to change. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And part of that change is self-responsibility. And no more complaining and blaming and shaming. Because guess what happens to all our cells when we complain and we blame and we shame? They contract. I'm going to do a wee play for you here. So when your cells are like this, yes, guess how you're feeling? Great. And when your cells are like this, I hate them. I hate the apparent others. Yeah, the cells are contracted, and this is actually science as well. The cells contract and darken, and your chemistry changes instantly, like that, the minute you blame somebody else. Now, it might be their fault. I'm not saying, because there's a lot of mental apparent others, and we're seeing that right now, but ultimately how we feel and what we think is our responsibility. And when we react and judge, guess who suffers? Us. And that is a really counterintuitive thing that I am still working on, because I've been doing a lot of judging this last year, a lot. And really, I had a very interesting discussion with some people I'll not name last weekend, and I realised, you know, I was really, really triggered. My buttons were getting pushed big time, but I realised they trust. That's really their biggest fault. They trust in the systems, and we have already identified that not everybody has got our greater good at heart. And there's Netflix and Amazon Prime are full of documentaries that categorically show you that. But again, we're not going to complain and blame and shame any longer. We're going to stand up and create the new way to be the new earth, which is everybody that matters. And we can do that. We, the people, can change what we buy, what we, you know, what we eat. Sorry, I hate to bring the food thing up. It's a thing. What we eat, what we think, what we drink. And I am the biggest partier in the world, so I'm not here to tell you to stop partying. Festivals, fun, music, we need all of that. We should all be singing and dancing every weekend. But the reality is we need to make, did you know that I heard today, 80% of our market food goes to England because the Scots won't eat it. That's a wee bit embarrassing, isn't it? So we really do have to take a look at ourselves, because we can change this. If 80% of our lifestyle choices are creating dis-ease, we can just change our lifestyle choices and create ease. So what happens to the cells in the body when I start to think, when I eat the wrong food, when I'm dehydrated, the cells start to collapse in, and I feel anxious. So anxiety can be driven by all sorts of things. And in the book, I'm obviously going to punt the book, you'll understand, if an astronaut goes into outer space and goes out the gravitational field, what happens? They atrophy. They'll lose their bone density and their muscles atrophy because they're out of the gravitational field, yeah? We live in an electromagnetic field. And what we've done, inadvertently I believe, is we've gone into our houses, turned up the central heating, get the biggest, fastest singing and dancing Wi-Fi possible, have Alexa in every single room, choose foods, choose all these foods. I know not all of you will be doing this, but this is common, let me tell you. And then we never go outside, and now not even to work. We're not even going to the car because we're all working from home. So we have inadvertently cut ourselves off from the electromagnetic field that keeps us alive. You notice that I'm in my bare feet. Every cell contains 0.07 volt of electricity, millivolt. I can't remember the actual count. But when I put my bare feet on the ground, I lock into the free flow of electrons that comes from the planet. And my battery, which is me, will start to be recharged. Now, there's a lot of invisible energy around. So because we can't see things, you know, well, I'll believe it when I see it. When in actual fact, see it now we're understanding, I'll give you a quick lesson in quantum physics, that believing is seeing. We are pushing it. And this is about what the new earth has got to be about for these little babies. Beautiful wee babies coming in, we owe it to them to clean up this mess, to stop polluting the planet now, today, not waiting for 20 whatever. We, the people, need to do this. And what you guys can do, we're just getting a new website rebranded, healscotland.com. You can spread the word. We've got a Breathe and Believe, which is teaching you the power of your breath. Can you believe that nose breathing or not will make you well or make you sick? That is incredible. And most of us getting antibiotics when we're kids, we start mouth breathing. And if you're mouth breathing for a long time, you create all sorts of other problems in the body because you're bypassing this intelligent filter system. Now, something as simple as that, we should know about. Would you not agree?
Yes.
So we're at Duck Bay Marina on the 13th of Sunday, the 13th of June at 9 a.m. James McFadden will be guiding us through a breathing session. You will experience the bliss of breathing consciously. It's truly remarkable. And then if you want, you can go into the cold water, which will not be that cold because it will be June. And then we're going to be in Edinburgh on the 20th, Sunday the 20th. All these events are free. I am absolutely obsessed about health hierarchy. And trust me, when you go into the natural world, you get vitamins that cost a fortune and all of that as well. It's just all a marketing thing. And I'm telling you, obviously if you're seriously ill, you need help. But just to prevent and feel more energy, get back into nature. That is where the magic is. Not Father Pharma, Mother Nature. So please spread the word about Heal Scotland, because I cannot do this myself. I'm the vehicle for this movement. Check out the website, share the words about the events, the Breathe and Believe. If you've never done some conscious breathing, honestly, it's incredible how you're going to feel. And doing this en masse, we are all connected. I know I'm preaching to the converted here, but we are all interconnected. Right now, if you like what I'm saying, our brains will entrain, our cells will actually start to mimic each other, and we become a power grid. So on that note, would you like to do a massive letting go session?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to take the cells from this tight state about all the idiots that are believing the message. How can they do that? We're so clever. And then we're going to take the cells from that tight state into this really expanded, loving state. Because when you want to convince people, what state is it smarter to be in? Yeah, expanded and not giving a shit state. Instead of judge, you're wrong, I'm right, which is what we've been doing. It just doesn't work, and I think we can see that. So what I want you to do is put your hand in your heart. And I'm going to do a very simple but very powerful breathing exercise called the 478. If you've met me before, you'll have done it. I'm obsessed about it. It's so simple and it's free and it works. So you're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. And when you breathe out, you're going to put your tongue behind your teeth and you're just going to blow out like this for 8. Okay, and we're going to just do 4 of these. So do it with me. Breathe in, hold, and out. And in, and hold, and out. And in, and hold, and out. Last one, in, and hold, and out. And just feel. The body speaks to you in feelings, not in words. Can you feel the difference?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to do a release. So put your hand in your heart. And I want you to think about somebody that's particularly annoying. One person, not 99% of the population. Hand in your heart and just think about that person, that apparent other. What can you feel in your body? What do your cells do? Okay, so can you just allow whatever's there to be there, all the judgment, anger, hurt, maybe whatever emotion is around that, allow it all, welcome it, and then just let it go. Set it free. Come on, mean it. Let it go. And can you now welcome all wishing that they were different? All trying to figure them out? All feeling that it's personal? And all waiting for them to change so that you can be happy? Can you welcome all of that? and just let it go. And can you welcome all wanting control, security, approval, separation and oneness, and just let it go.
Mean it.
That is a fantastic example, isn't it? There's certain people that will let go of you, but I ain't letting go of you because you are super, super annoying.
That's because you guys are Lady Gaga album.
Okay, so let's just check in with the hearts. Check in with the hearts, because this magnetic organ is sending out a signal, an invisible signal to all of you guys. And it's sending a signal inwardly to all of my cells. And if I want to be vibrant and healing and to be here to make a difference at this time, I have to mind my state. Because if I'm coming out angry and aggressive and resentful and judgmental and superior and condescending, is it going to work? No. So this is our job. It's an inside job, as they say. Don't let anybody live in your heat rent-free. So welcome all the feelings and then just let them go, and repeat that all day. There's never been a more important time to let go. Trust me on this one. And there's lots of different ways to do it. That one that I just shared with you is the Sedona method. Hugely transformational technique. So anyway, I think I've taken enough of your time. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being here. And if you want to buy a book, it's £15. All the money goes to Heal Scotland. Thank you.